Assalamu alaikum. Viewers, today we are going to discuss Riba with Moiz Amjad. I hope our questions are helpful to you also. Ji Moiz, what is Riba?
Riba relates to all the financial deferred transactions where the borrower is asked to pay for a specific predetermined rate for the use of the money given by the lender.
Is this description in the Quran?
Now, this is not a description of the Quran. It is not a Quranic term. Riba is not a Quranic term. Riba is basically an Arabic word, and this is how it was used in the Arabic language. And there's no word in the Quran which has been used in a very in a specific language, as a specific term with a different meaning than it was in the normal connotation of that word in the ongoing language. For instance, if the Quran makes a particular word a term, it would then clarify how that term is being used. Anything that you see in the Quran, there is no new word that was introduced by the Quran for the purpose of its communication.
So this means that Riba is not mentioned in Quran. So
there's no explanation of what Riba is in the Quran. There should not be. You see, when we, for instance, write the word interest in English, we use it in the normal connotation in which the word interest is used in the books of economics and newspapers, in everything that we read every day. So that is how any word that the Quran uses is also used.
So what is actually forbidden in Islam?
What is forbidden in Islam is that a lender should not be asking for a predetermined rate irrespective of the results of the operation from the borrower. If the lender is giving a loan for the purpose of consumption, for the purpose of help of a borrower, he should do it with the spirit of help rather than doing it for a commercial purpose. If you're lending it for a commercial purpose, then the same would apply. I mean, you should not be predetermining the rate irrespective of the results. You should make the rates contingent upon how the loan performs in the hands of the borrower. If he's using it for a business deal, for a business usage, in that case, if the business is profitable, you should make the loan, the return on that loan, contingent upon the profits earned by the borrower, rather than making it a predetermined specific rate.
The two questions arise over here. One is that, what is Quran forbidding? The second one is, why should I do this? I mean, commercially, it doesn't seem that sensible.
You see, first of all, what the Quran is prohibiting, I just mentioned to you that it is.
Where, how does the Quran say this?
The Quran says that you have to stop taking riba. I mean, this is absolutely forbidden. This has been forbidden in the Quran. This has been forbidden at various places in the Quran. La ta'kulur riba, for instance, is a clear prohibition that you cannot eat, you cannot devour riba. Now, why should you be following it? That has two different aspects. You would be following it firstly because you think that if the Quran is forbidding it, then it is a word of God. And if you take that belief out, then the reason that the Quran gives for its forbiddance is that charging riba is unjust. You see, when you have the right to ask for the 100% value that you lent, but when you are returned with the 100% value and there is no such thing as profits in that transaction, then why should you be asking for anything above the original value that you lent?
Because I am taking a risk. By lending, I am technically taking a risk.
You see, you have all the right to demand your money back. This risk, even if you're charging riba, it would not be covering the risk involved. You see, when you charge riba, if you look at the current position in the economy, there are many bank defaulters even today when the banks are actually working on the basis of riba. So it is not really correct to say that riba is something that would take care of the risks of the bank. Riba is not meant to do that. Riba is basically that would make the lending proposition a commercially feasible proposition. So when you say that we would like to run an institute for the purpose of lending money, it can be run on any other mechanism but not on the mechanism of predetermined rates. That is the only thing that would hinder your acceptance of the.
I've got another question about predetermined rates. What if I lend to someone and I say that I'm giving a loan for, let's say, 5 years, and I'm becoming less liquid, so I'll charge you a liquidity premium.
Okay, but you see, a liquidity premium, I don't know what that would mean, but obviously you are basically again restructuring the whole thing from a different angle, but still the riba based system would prevail. So anything in a Muslim economy that is not actually against the Quran would be allowed. If you find this to be against the Quran, then there should be certain reservations. But looking at it from an absolutely logical perspective, I mean, if you think that you have an opportunity cost, as people would say, for everything that you do economically, then obviously this should not be the case. You should not be lending money in that case. Find another opportunity. Okay. But you cannot lend on riba.